Hey everyone, Nathan Masters here. I had a microscale build to share. Just a little video to highlight something that I put together quite a while ago. I think this was freshman year of college, so that would have been, get the whole frame going. There we go. 2016, I think, is when I put this together. And I was just experimenting with some of these new 1x2, well, new at the time, really small curved slopes, and just seeing what they could do when something needed to be more compact. And I had a little microscale spaceship. So this is supposed to be actually large scale compared to a figure. So the figures would be barely visible at this little scale. And it's small enough to go up on my little display table that I used for my 1:87 scale car review. I wanted to use this again because I really like how it turned out. So yeah, I put it up on the table. I just wanted to talk through a few of the different things and then look at a recent update I did with digital build in Studio. So overall, the contour of the craft is very angular because it uses these angular plates, but it also has the curved slopes, which are more continuous. So just a little bit of a balance there. And then I also used the transparent clear cheese slopes, tiles, and bricks, or not bricks, plates. There's 1x1 plates towards the tail, 1x2 right here, and a few more 1x2 plates for maybe a larger window looking out down and back for like a quarters for passengers to kind of be hanging out, or maybe a cafeteria or something. But command center up at the front has a lot of the glass, so you have high visibility, and then it actually kind of scoops down. There's another little window there, and then a couple of these 1x4 very shallow slopes have some stickers. I don't remember exactly what those are from, but I liked the texture that those added. Otherwise, the color scheme here very simple, light gray and white, with a few dark gray highlights on the underside to give it a little more depth. I did use two of those 2x2 boat skids, is what they're called, just for a little stability. And I really like these. They're unintrusive, and you can hold together some plates that otherwise might be a little bit stubborn. A little edge-on view, and now you can see where maybe one of my main issues with the model is the engines not being really directly behind the center of mass. So center of mass, as a fictional vehicle, is not really defined until you do tests and stuff, but I would imagine it's somewhere on this center line between these layers of plates. The engine's actually sitting kind of below that, and so you'd end up with a little bit of a moment over time with the thrust. Just to be realistic, even though it's a fantasy build, I would have liked these to be up a little bit more in line behind these 1x3 curve slopes, but the geometry of these pieces just not really allowing that. And this is something that I addressed with the digital build. It's pretty much the same model here in Studio, but first thing we'll look at is these engines that I did change around. Instead of the 1x2 plate with the little clip or the bar, I decided to use an inverted bracket in this light gray color, which is only in 2 sets, but it does exist. It's been around for a little bit now. And then I put these 1x1 with the clip on. They're actually facing the opposite direction now, and so that requires a new piece to be introduced. Instead of a simple 1x1 stud, I used these bar with the clip. And then, since there's a hole in the end of that, I figured I'd fill it with something. And our new candle, this is only a 2019 piece, so pretty new piece, but it does fit well in the back. I think this would also receive the standard flame element, but that'd just be a little bit of overkill for the scale of the model, I think. Everything else pretty much unchanged, except I did change the 4x6 plate with those corners that are cut. I changed that to white. It was light gray in the original model. I like this white color a little better. That way it maintains the color all the way to the the max wingspan, and then that's when it starts fading to that light gray. On the bottom, I added 4 1x1 hollow studs, where these would be maybe some ground thrust. When it comes in for a landing, it can actually do that with those landing engines now, instead of using your imagination. Of course, still use your imagination for the whole thing, because it is a tiny little build, only 55 pieces, and they're pretty common pieces as well, except for these brackets. I did put this through some renders, and I thought they turned out alright. So this was the POV render, where it actually does the edges a little bit different than a photoreal. And I tried using one of the settings to make the flames different, the way that it renders those, but it just turned them yellow, so I'm not sure I like that. Then I switched over to photoreal, and that's where the rendering engine really does shine with this photoreal rendering capability. Change the background color to blue to kind of bring out those whites and grays a little more. I rendered this one without the flames, and then I did another one with the flames in there and some shadow. And then, since I have this built up, I decided, hey, I need to put this on Rebrickable. So this is my Rebrickable cover photo, and I'll be linking this video to the Rebrickable listing as well. Just a free little build. I threw the digital model up on, so the studio file is what you would download to build this. I didn't even go to the instruction maker, even though I did separate this out into steps, so that will help whoever decides they would like to try to build this themselves. But that's about it. Just a little Microscale that I had put together from a while back, sitting on my desk here, and I thought it'd be fun to make this into a digital archive. Try to do that with a lot of my mocks so that I have some backups. But it's something we could have done a while back on the channel. We had a little series called Mini Build Monday. We did that for 10 videos, and then we decided to stop and focus on other content. Could have been eligible for that, but never did make it in, and just kind of been waiting. So here it is today, featured on the channel Brick System Brothers. And thanks for checking it out if you're still watching at this point. But yeah, this is up on Rebrickable for you there, and it's still put together here in my collection. Not really consisting any vital pieces here, so I don't think I'll be dismantling it anytime soon. Just a interesting little talking point with that shaping on there. And maybe maybe someday I'll attempt to build a minifig scale version of it, but maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it at this. Alright, we'll see you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in today.